In the 21st century, the formula for naval power seemed set in stone. Bigger is better. The world's dominant navies were defined by their massive multi-billion-dollar warships, aircraft carriers, Aegis destroyers, and nuclear-powered submarines. These were the titans of the sea, symbols of overwhelming technological and financial might for a resurgent but still economically constrained Russia. This presented a critical problem. Their own ambitious programs to build large, blue-water frigates and destroyers like the Gorshkov class were proving to be incredibly slow, complex, and expensive. The Russian Navy was facing a crisis of numbers. They could not compete ship for ship. The few advanced frigates they could build could not be everywhere at once. This left a dangerous vacuum in Russia's most vital strategic areas, its enclosed green water seas. The Baltic Sea, the Black Sea, the Caspian Sea. These were not open oceans for titans to duel in. They were constrained, crowded, and lethal choke points. Russia's ability to control its own maritime backyard was being challenged by a fleet of aging, Soviet-era small missile ships that were rapidly becoming obsolete. This was not a future problem. It was a clear and present danger. A large, expensive frigate operating in the narrow confines of the Baltic or the eastern Black Sea is not an asset. It is a target. It is vulnerable to land-based anti-ship missiles, to swarms of small attack drones, and to quiet diesel-electric submarines that thrive in the shallow, complex acoustic environments. The few new high-value ships Russia could build were too precious to risk in these lethal littoral zones. The old Soviet Mosquito fleet of Nanuchka and Tarantul-class corvettes, the ships designed for this role, were a relic of a bygone era. They lacked stealth, modern sensors, and, most importantly, the long-range precision weapons needed to be a credible threat in the 21st century. The Russian Navy was facing a nightmare scenario, being outgunned and outnumbered in the very waters it needed to dominate to protect its borders and project power. It needed a new kind of Mosquito, a ship that was small, fast, and cheap enough to be built in large numbers, but armed with the fangs of a much, much larger predator. The solution was a return to a classic Soviet doctrine, but supercharged with 21st century technology. It was Project 22800, the Karakurt class, named for a species of highly venomous black widow spider. This was not a frigate or a destroyer. It was a small missile ship, a vessel designed from the keel up to be the ultimate asymmetric coastal brawler. The Karakurt's design philosophy was simple. Put the biggest possible punch on the smallest possible platform. First, the lethal heart. Its primary weapon system is the same 8-cell UKSK vertical launch system found on the much larger Admiral Grigorovich and Gorshkov-class frigates. This gives a tiny 800-ton corvette the ability to launch the same deadly, long-range Kalibr land attack cruise missiles and the Onyx supersonic anti-ship missiles. This is a level of strategic firepower that is completely unprecedented for a ship of its size. Second, the speed. She was designed for shoot-and-scoot tactics. A powerful diesel engine setup gives her a top speed of over 30 knots, allowing her to dash out from port, launch her missiles from hundreds of miles away, and then race back to the safety of coastal air defenses before the enemy can effectively retaliate. Third, a powerful defense. Learning from the limitations of earlier small ships, the later vessels of the Karakurt class were equipped with the Pantsir M, a navalized version of the formidable land-based Pantsir air defense system. This combined gun and missile system gives the Karakurt a powerful, automated, 360-degree defense bubble against incoming missiles and drones, a level of self-protection usually found only on much larger warships. The Karakurt was the answer. A small, fast, stealthy, and shockingly lethal pocket battleship that could be mass-produced to swarm and overwhelm any opponent in the littorals. The proof of the Karakurt's deadly effectiveness has been written in the fire and smoke of the Russo-Ukrainian War. The ships of the class, built with remarkable speed at several shipyards simultaneously, were rapidly commissioned into the Baltic and, most critically, the Black Sea fleets. They immediately became one of Russia's most important and frequently used assets in the conflict. From the relative safety of the harbor in Sevastopol, or from patrol stations in the eastern Black Sea, These small corvettes have been responsible for launching numerous volleys of Kalibr cruise missiles against strategic targets deep inside Ukraine. News reports and official videos have repeatedly shown these tiny ships unleashing a weapon with a range of over 1,500 kilometers. This is the ultimate proof of concept. A small 800-ton corvette, costing a fraction of a major frigate, is having a direct and significant impact on a large-scale, high-intensity war. They have proven the value of distributed lethality. Instead of concentrating all of your firepower in one large, expensive and vulnerable target like the cruiser Moskva, you distribute it across a dozen smaller, cheaper, and harder-to-hit platforms. The loss of one Karakurt is a tactical setback. The loss of a cruiser is a strategic catastrophe. The Karakurts have proven that in the modern era, the Mosquito fleet is back, and it is deadlier than ever. The legacy of the Karakurt class is the perfection of asymmetric naval warfare. They are the ultimate anti-access area denial, A2AD weapon for the coastal environment. They are a powerful signal that you no longer need a massive blue water fleet to project strategic power. A handful of these small missile ships can effectively hold a vast area at risk, denying it to a much larger and more technologically advanced adversary. They represent a fundamental shift in naval thinking, a move that is being watched closely by navies all over the world. They are a testament to the idea that in the age of the long-range precision missile, the platform that launches it is becoming less important than the missile itself. The Karakurt is a floating missile battery, a concept that is both brutally simple and strategically brilliant. The Karakurt class is more than a corvette. It is a game changer. It is a testament to a naval philosophy that values the lethal punch of the Mosquito over the brute force of the Titan. In the crowded, dangerous coastal waters of the 21st century, these small ships cast a very long and very dark shadow. They are the Black Widows, the pocket battleships, the Kalibr Mosquitoes. Share this video to explore the fascinating and strategically vital story of the Karakurt class.